Okay, so uh, there's a actually, you know what? I want to, for the first time in a very, very long time, I want to clearly express my envy and jealousy for those that go to work 9 to 5, at 5 p.m., switch off, and come back home. I actually think they have it good. And the reason why I think they have it good is because basically, come what may, at the end of the month, you're getting paid. Even if you call in sick, you're fine. And I think people who run a business, especially when it comes to building something, have it bad. And the reason being is because you just realize that there's no clock in time, there's no clock out time. You're working late into the night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're waking up as early as you can, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you're back at it. And if you don't, you're responsible for the strategy. You're responsible for basically what comes in at the end of that month. If you don't do the work, you're responsible for everybody's wages. So while other people know that come what may, their wages are coming, you have to make that wage come. And heavy weighs the crown, and you also start to realize that the only way the only way you can have all the eggs rotting in one basket is if you leave the good eggs unattended for quite a while. So you start to realize that basically anything that goes bad is your fault, and you can't really blame anybody for it. You start to learn that you have to have some level of emotional intelligence to deal with people, because it's people that are making the company work. And while when you're building a system is your input output, and you can create algorithms and create some level of logic to make it do what you want it to do, human beings are like, they're a bit and unpredictable, and that requires emotional intelligence that you can't code. You can't code emotional intelligence. You just can't code it. So where does that now lead you? Well, it leads you to look to digitize and automate as much as you can. And we posted something on Instagram yesterday, on our Instagram page, and I think we posted it on our Facebook page yesterday. And what did we say? We said, I think it was by Adam. It was Adam McAfee, and a research done by McAfee, and they said that 93% of businesses of organizations use cloud services. 93%. Whether it is an SME, a medium-large company, or a large enterprise, 93% use cloud services. And the fact that I'm constantly trying to find ways to digitize all of our channels, integrate it, move it towards a centralized customer data center, and automate as much as I can. Try and take advantage of innovation accelerators such as cognitive systems and cognitive systems, where we look at artificial intelligence, and create some level of virtual coach on our platform, where I depend less on human beings and depend more on machines. It now starts to freak me out. And why? We're in the middle of launching eWork 4.0. And I just realized this morning that I'm 100% dependent, not even 93%, 100% dependent on cloud service. So the enterprise collaboration tool we're building, 100% dependent on Google. The customer relationship management system and the full integration into our channels, 100% dependent on Salesforce. The database, the customer data center, 100% dependent on cloud, on our cloud service server, and the cloud architecture and stuff like that. And you're thinking to yourself, hold up a second. I actually don't have anything physical. Again, everything is in the cloud. And then you start to realize that your cost is actually going up, because the more dependent you are on cloud, the more data you use, the more you pay. And therein lies your strategy to make sure that your ability to generate revenue as a result of digitizing and automating, that revenue actually surpasses the amount you're spending in terms of all these cloud services that is now automating and digitizing all of your services. And then a big shocker to my system is I can't just hire anybody. I have to hire digitally skilled people. I have to hire a Salesforce administrator. I have to hire a cloud infrastructure engineer. I have to hire somebody who has experience managing enterprise collaboration platform. I have to hire somebody who understands how, basically, when it comes to digital marketing, I'm constantly shouting at my digital marketing team because they just don't understand the value of data. It's supposed to be data-driven digital marketing, not just posting things for the sake of posting it. And then I now find myself realizing that my cost when it comes to human resources is going up because I'm looking for the right digital skills. And that brings me to you guys. Here's my problem, right? I'll deal with it in the best way possible. But what's your problem? Well, I keep telling people this. I'm a small company. We shut down the London office a while back, moved our headquarters over to Nigeria. But because we've been able to digitize and automate a lot of things, we're now able to operate on a global scale. So we have customers from the United States, Canada, everywhere coming on the platform. But I have the freedom to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, because I've basically achieved that worker enablement anytime and anywhere feature that comes from digital transformation. And thank God for that. But there is a problem for most people now. It is now clear. I've been saying it for a long time to everybody, but it's now clear as day to me. You're in trouble if you don't have any digital skills. You're done for if you don't have any digital skill. Kiss goodbye to your career if you don't have any digital skill. Because if a small company like mine that is heavily reliant on technology to run my business, which is most likely the situation for 99.9% of any business out there, at least any company that can afford to pay you what you would want, they will be reliant on technology. And if you don't have the right digital skills to add value to their business, then if they're not digitally transforming or transformed, they're going to go down under anyway, and you're going to lose your job. If they are digitally transforming and you lack that digital skill, you're that person they're going to get rid of, because basically they have no use for you. And therein lies the reality of the digital age that we live in. Therein lies the new digital economy that we operate in. And as much as my eyes are open to the fact that I now have to increase my spend when it comes to human resources and specifically targeting people with digital expertise, so also do you have to now tell yourself, hold up a second, am I going to be relevant within the next 6 to 12 months? In fact, that's even too long. Am I going to be relevant next month? Let me give you a breakdown of what's going on. So, remember, once upon a time, to run a training company was as simple as getting a venue, booking the venue, and then putting adverts out there in newspapers, or if you can afford radio, do radio, and then and then get a salesperson and people show up. Well, that's no longer the case. Anybody that's operating that level right now is basically a dinosaur, doomed to be extinct. we have digitally savvy upward mobile consumers. So digitally savvy means they basically use digital technology to enhance their lives or to carry on with their daily lives. Upward mobile means they're constantly getting the majority of things done on their mobile phone. So as a business, to reach those customers, which accounts for, in the UK, actually over 130% of the population. Why? Because 130% have, basically their mobile penetration is 130% in Europe. So not even in UK, in Europe. So, and over 50% have social media accounts. So that tells you that any company must have a mobile social first strategy. So you can't just say you want to build a website now. You have to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. But because the end user is digitally savvy and upward mobile, there's certain mobile features, or if we could say native app features, that customers expect. So it then forces you, in order for you to perfectly integrate into their lifestyle, to now create an app. All these things cost money. If not, you lose your customer base. And then it's not just building the app, it's understanding the user experience and understanding the disruptive technology that is disrupting your market or your industry. And if your competitor A is using a new technology to further improve the customer experience and you don't have that technology, then competitor A steals your customers and you lose market share and eventually you go down. And I will never forget this. When I first started my business, the first guy that was going to, my mentor, the first mentor that was going to invest into my business, I'll never forget what he then when he used to advise me, he would say, he was in the publishing industry at that point in time, and he used to talk about the glory days, when I used to this, when I used to that, when I used to that, when I used to that. I had this amount of money, I had this amount of money, but then obviously the market changed, the internet was launched, and then basically nobody was putting ads in magazines anymore because the internet came to be, and obviously that business died. And it is only now that I'm beginning to realize that may God not let me say when I used to. May God not let me celebrate the past when I should be focused on the future. On the present, when I should be celebrating the present and focusing on the future. So I don't want to look back on the glory days and say, oh, if only I could get back that day. I want to focus on now and say, it was great then, but I don't ever want to go back there. And that was because the reason why I believe he was able to say that, was because he didn't evolve. And that applies not just to businesses, it applies to you as well. You've got to evolve. You've got to be aware of the latest technology out there, the latest expertise out there, what companies are looking for. You need to build your expertise and experience in that area. You need to be relevant. You need to make sure that you ask the questions in relation to your career. And that question is, what exactly will make me relevant in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years? And that's what you've got to focus on. Because if you don't do that, then you would find yourself all of a sudden out of work. And this is especially to my existing candidates. My candidates who are securing the 400, 500 pounds a day jobs now. We are so proud of the success stories we're throwing out. We're really excited. But if you're not up to date, if you're not being relevant, and in a world that technology is constantly changing, what is relevant today is no longer relevant tomorrow. You've got to keep up to date. So you don't want to taste 500 pounds a day for 6 months only to realize that you can't taste it for the rest of your life again because you're irrelevant. And so this is the reason for this video. I remember the days where basically registering candidates was something that we did on an Excel spreadsheet. Now candidates register directly on the website without contacting us. I remember the days when people would have to come into the class Monday to Friday, come into the office Monday to Friday to gain work experience. Now they do it from the convenience of their homes. I remember when we would look forward to the last Saturday of every month to pack everybody into the class. Now we do that every Thursday online. there's just so many things that have changed and evolved. And if we didn't evolve, we wouldn't exist. And now we're now going to the next stage, which is scaring the living daylight out of me. It's scaring me a great deal because I'm now beginning to realize that instead of me paying salaries, I'm paying companies, and then I'm actually now looking for people who know how to use those services that I'm paying for. And that scares me. And why does it scare me? Because I can't pay minimum wage again. I have to pay the wage that relates to the skill set that I'm looking for. And for that to happen, I have to make sure I generate the right amount of revenue. So the level of thinking, the strategy that you use to create £10,000 a month is different from the level of thinking and strategy that you use to create £100,000 a month. The level of thinking and strategy that you use to create £100,000 a month is different from the level of strategy you use to create £1 million a month. You have to change your way of thinking, and you have to renew your mind on a daily basis by looking at what's out there. So let me give you an example of what we're doing. We used to host our videos ourselves. Now our videos are hosted by a video hosting company. Instead of us paying to have our videos on our servers, one small fee every single month, we're now paying a video hosting company, and they're charging us per storage. I pray to God they don't charge us per bandwidth. That would be madness. But at least I no longer have to worry about the speed, the bandwidth speed. I no longer have to worry about the resolution. Well, actually, as long as I upload high quality videos, but then resolution depending on internet speed, which obviously, for example, if someone in Nigeria was watching the video, how do I actually make sure they have the right resolution and at the same time have make sure they can stream based on their internet connection? That's something that the cloud service company does for me. All I do is just pay them every single month my subscription fee. That's not bad. The whole CMS, content management system that we used to have, where we were reliant on WordPress to do that, is now entirely 100% on Salesforce, our customer relationship management system, and fully integrated into, and then our data center is obviously connected to that, and that feeds into all of our other channels, and then also feeding into our external digital marketing channels. And now all I'm doing is paying Salesforce. And I just realized that no wonder Salesforce is so bloody rich. No wonder they have so much money, because any company that's doing really well will most likely be using them. But then I need a Salesforce administrator. I need a Salesforce business intelligence expert, because we've plugged in the Wave Analytics tool as well for business intelligence, where we can make prescriptive and descriptive decision making through data visualization. So I realized that, hey, I have to evolve, I have to change. And the same thing applies to you as well. So what does this mean? There's a reason why we're moving away from the traditional project management, traditional business analysis, and we're now 100% digitally focused. There's a reason why the new products and services, in terms of our package, is focused on creating digital product managers rather than project managers. And if we focus on project managers, we focus on digital project managers and digital business analysts. There's a reason why we're now more focused on digital product owners and solutions architects and scrum masters and digital marketing professionals and web analysts and business intelligence experts and data analysts and all these new roles that has evolved as a result of the digital age. These are the digital skill sets that companies are looking for, that I am looking for. And the good news to you is that in the United Kingdom, I believe it's 45 or 47% of the population do not have the right digital skills. When opportunity is presented like that, it is best to grab onto it. Thomas Edison said that the reason why people don't see opportunities is that it's covered in hard work and covered in apples and stuff like that. And a lot of people are afraid of the hard work. But the truth of the matter is that if you don't do the work now, you will never have the opportunity to experience the reward that comes from grabbing onto the opportunity. If you make the decisions based on the cost of doing the hard work, it will cost you the opportunity. If you make the decision based on the cost of investing in your career, investing in education, it will cost you the opportunity. So what you think you're trying to save yourself on, or what you're procrastinating on, is actually not the actual cost. The true cost is the opportunity that you're missing out on. And I want to employ every single person. I want to kind of speak to the aspiring part of you, the part of you that believes that you shouldn't settle for less, the part of you that believes that you should be in a better place, the part of you that tells you that, you know what, I'm not going to accept where I am. I believe I am more than this. And in talking to that part of you, I have one message for you. Find out exactly what will make you relevant within the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and start investing your time and energy in it now. I can tell you straight away, we are living in the digital age. The digital economy is what is driving growth in most countries right now. In the UK, the digital economy or the digital sector grew 2 times faster than all other sectors in 2017. Maybe in 2018, we'll have grown 3 times faster. So there's an opportunity available for everybody, and that is to focus on deciding where within the digital space is your calling, and build yourself in that area. In exactly 2 weeks' time, we'll be launching the eWork 4.0. You'll be able to go on eWork 4.0 and you will be able to discover which digital talent suits your personality type. Take that test, understand exactly. It will create a career. It will map out your career path. Follow it, and come back and thank us for it. And that's all I've got to say today. And in summary, this video is all about the drama that we're going through as a business, trying to keep up with the digital age, identifying the opportunities available to us and how expensive it is, and the new roles we have to recruit for, and looking at you and saying that I, like every other company out there, we're looking for the right digital skills. Are you one of the people we should be hiring? Now, as a question I'm going to leave with you. Bye-bye.